What's going on, golf fans? It's your boy Gsluke here with our core plays for this week's Wyndham Championship. We've got ourselves the last event of the regular season and quite a bit of side drama on the line on top of our normal GPP and outright bets. So here in this preview, gonna go through the top end of the board and bring you 4 players that I'm getting exposure to this week, both in terms of high exposure plays in GFS and of course over there for outright bets. For one reason or another, these players I expect to have a good go at it this week, and hopefully we can improve on last week, which at 3M left a little bit to be desired, right? So hopefully we can get that bounce back here. Let's go ahead and start it off with a look at our key stats of the week. In terms of course fit, we're really looking for a precision over a distance kind of player. So number one key stat ends up being driving accuracy. You got good drive percentage on there, also shots gained at short golf courses. It's much more about setting up angles around a Sedgefield Country Club than it is going out there and bombing and gouging it. So that's the one real key factor to look at off the tee. In terms of approach play, a lot of mid to short irons, a lot of wedges that our players are going to be faced with too. So pretty much from 175 yards and in, we're looking at a lot of weighting on our iron buckets, whereas with the longer irons, maybe a little bit less weighting than most weeks. Your putting stats, we're looking at fast Bermuda greens, around the green heavily looking at Bermuda grass splits because you do have that grainy Bermuda. Looking at shots gained at this track, right, Sedgefield, for your better percentage, opportunities gained with a winning score that's usually right around 20 under. And then for comps, we've got Harbortown, Waialae, and TPC Southwind, all short Bermuda grass tracks where it's about accuracy off the tee and avoiding some of those ticking time bombs. So 3 really correlated courses. You've seen a lot of crossover in terms of the leaderboards. And then, like I said, we're looking for that short plotter, right? That's pretty good with the wedges, and you can go out there and fill it up on Bermuda grass. So with that being said, maybe not so much a plotter, but definitely fits the last 2 categories, right? Somebody that can get it done with the iron play, especially those mid to short irons, and then is one of the best putters in the world when it comes to these fast Bermuda greens. There's a reason why we call him Bermuda Burns after all. So $10,000 I thought was more than a fair enough price tag. In fact, I would have him as the most expensive player in this field, and that's despite not being in, earth-shattering form, right? You're talking about a player that's gaining only 0.7 strokes per round, but over his last 36, so if we zoom out, right, he's maybe the most consistent player, right? Very much so on brand. Doing his thing off the tee, gaining about a third of a stroke per round. You see a slight loser with the approach play, but gaining 0.7 strokes per round with the putter, which is pretty much what we come to expect, right, from one of the best putters in the world. Burns pretty much on any surface is going to be like a top 5, top 10 putter, even in the best of fields in the world. You put him on Bermuda grass, and he's going to be a top 3 top putter in the field pretty much every single time. If you look at his top 5s, his top 3s, or especially his winning performances, almost all of them. In fact, I think all of them have at least been on Bermuda or some strain of Bermuda hybrid with like a POA, something like that. There's always been Bermuda grass involved. So there's a reason why he has that nickname. The shots gained metrics have been very much so on brand, and the iron play, never going to be something where you're seeing him gaining like a stroke and a half per round. If you ever see Burns in that kind of form, play him every single week because that's going to be extremely rare. But he's kind of been like that of late too, right? He's been gaining 0.9 strokes per round. Of late, for whatever reason, the putter's gone away, the approach play's gone away, but the off the tee play's gone away, but the approach play has started to come around. And if he can just go back to his normal baseline, right, of doing his thing off the tee and with the putter and continue this iron play, it's a win. He's going to go out there and trounce a field. I mean, win it by like 5-6 strokes. Pull Lee Hodges out there on the field. So I like Sam Burns when he's hitting his irons well, and that's what we're getting of late. Kind of surprising, right? That's why I primed it with that. We don't normally see that from a Sam Burns, and it's one of the rare situations that we do. So he's not known for being an accuracy first type of player, but we saw him win at the Charles Schwab, another course where it's really about accuracy over distance off the tee. A lot of sand bunkers at that course that make it tough, more so like tree-lined fairways around Sedgefield, but the same kind of emphasis, right, on hitting the short stuff. And then another golf course that had Bermuda greens, right? Big coincidence that he went out there and beat Scotty Scheffler. So 10 grand grand, I'll definitely be playing Sam Burns, and I hope the ownership stays low. At first, because of the price, I thought he'd be maybe the highest owned player on the slate, and obviously it's still early on a Monday, so there's a lot that's going to change from now until Wednesday, but it feels like enough people are going to play the Sunjays, the Hidekis of the world, maybe even get to like an Adam Scott or Lowry that have had success at these short kind of golf courses. It leave Burns at least moderately owned, right? He's not going to be unowned. People are going to play him, especially with some of the recent iron play, but maybe he'll be average ownership for this range, which I think would be a huge mistake for the field. Next up, we've got ourselves Siwoo Kim, and he self-proclaimed loves this golf course. Somebody asked him when you should play him on the PGA Tour, and he said at Sedgefield, at the Wyndham Championship. And who could blame him with a win here and his track record around this last event of the year? So first off, let's take a look at it. He WD'd last year, was not playing well, was going to miss the cut. But look at that, T2, T3, 5th place finish, did have a missed cut there 5 years ago. So he's not immune to playing horribly, right? Would have missed the cut last year, missed the cut there 5 years ago, but also won the golf tournament there the year before that. So Siwoo Kim clearly likes the golf course, either top fives or misses the cut, which for large field GPPs is exactly what we're looking for. And he's going to be chalk, right? So unlike a Sam Burns, and I think has a chance to go a little bit overlooked, he may get some ownership, right? We'll see with Burns, but Siwoo Kim undoubtedly is going to be mega chalk this week, and it is deservingly so. He has already got a win this season. We know he has that upside, but the ball striking has been there in bunches over the last 36 rounds. If we zoom in a little bit, it's maybe not as good, but still, I mean, in total, right? Because he's losing 0.7 strokes with the putter. But look at the, iron play and off the tee play, gaining 1.3 strokes per round. So the ball striking has been there. It's been there for the last 3-4 months at this point. Frankly, from the last 3-4 years, Siwoo Kim is really becoming a consistent, just solid player. And when we get him at a course like this that he's already said just blatantly to us that he absolutely loves, I'm going to play him, even at high ownership numbers. So expect Siwoo Kim to potentially be the highest owned player on the entire slate. So if you're going to play him this week, you got to know that, right? You've got to be willing to differentiate elsewhere, which is why I hope that guys like a Sam Burns maybe go a little bit overlooked, right? I'm hoping my guys up here in the 10K range can at least be neutral in terms of ownership, if not giving us a little bit of leverage there. So Siwoo Kim, I'll definitely be on. It's not a hot take, though. I mean, he's even been playing okay of late, maybe not playing that much golf in terms of recent form. But like I said, the last 12 measured rounds, still doing his thing with the ball striking stats. So I'll be getting right back to him. Hopefully he can go out there, maybe add a second win to the record. Going to be chalkier, worse outright number than you would have gone there back in the day, but nonetheless, a situation that I'm looking to get back to. Before we hop into these last two plays, I'll remind you guys, check out the Patreon if you haven't already. For $10 a month, you get access to all of these spreadsheets as they update throughout the week. So when the tee times drop, of course, that tab will populate with the AM versus PM wave. We also have got our ownership player pool that updates. We've got all of our showdown projections for rounds 2 through 4, prop stuff, all of that there on the Patreon. So if you're ever wondering where I post all of this, where you can get access to all of my projections, not just the few that we cover over here on the videos, check it out. It's on the Patreon. You can use it for your process, research, and your optimizers, models, all that sort of fun stuff, and make it actionable for everyone in the field, right? Not just these 4 players. Next up, we've got Denny McCarthy, another player that should fit this course to a T. With McCarthy, we've got more of the wedge play going and more of the putting going than the off the tee play. While he is relatively accurate off the tee, and that's kind of what we're looking for this week, right? Not prolific in that category, right? Not one of the more accurate players on the PGA Tour. So I'd say the one box that he doesn't check with like a capitalized little check mark there would be off the tee, but the irons, the wedges, the putter, I mean, you're not going to find a better player, right? Of late, he's been gaining across all 4 categories, has some of the best form in the world, let alone in this field. You look at the last 36, and it pretty much holds up, right? Gaining 1.7 strokes per round. Again, off the tees, his one weakness, yet he's still gaining off the tee over that last 36 round baseline and does pretty much everything else that we're looking for. So with Denny McCarthy, I think the price tag is inefficient. He should probably be $10,000 in this kind of field, which makes me think that he's going to be chalky. So if I'm going to have lineups that have a Siwoo and Denny together, which I'm undoubtedly going to have, I think that they're they're just slam dunk plays. They're like obvious, like going to be 25, maybe 30% owned this week kind of plays. If I'm going to use them together, my value plays are going to have to be different. So I know that here on a Monday, I know they're going to be some of the highest owned players on the slate, and I do not care. They fit the course that well. They literally have both played well here before, first off. Second off, they fit it from the course fit perspective. Let's look at Denny McCarthy. So outside of the missed cut last year, T15, T9, T22, T36, right? And he's a much better player at this stage of his career than he was when he was going out there and posting those earlier finishes. So you gotta love to see that. The recent forms there too. I know he missed the cut the last time out, but T6 finish was just going out there in elite tier field after elite tier field and getting top finish after top finish. That, of course, includes a win at the Memorial, which is one of the strongest and one of the more difficult golf courses in all of the PGA Tour. Just really impressive stuff from Denny. So total mono rankings got him at 7, right? He's number 13 in pricing. That shows you a lot of that value. And gaining close to 3/4 of a stroke per round on Bermuda grass is just next level stuff. And lastly, we've got Alex Smalley, the hometown kid. He lives in Greensboro, North Carolina. In fact, plays this golf course as his home golf course. He's a member at Sedgefield, and he's my #1 course fit ranking. That's not because I just went out there and ranked him #1, right? Because he's the recent, club champion here at Sedgefield Country Club, but it's also because the numbers said that. I didn't change anything, just the pure numbers love him that much this week. And let's look at why, right? Last 36 rounds, Alex Smalley, your best ball striker in the field. 0.3 strokes off the tee, which is, not the best, but it's pretty elite level stuff. And getting a stroke per round on approach. Like, sheesh, you're not going to beat that, okay? You look at the last 12 measure rounds, you go, okay, that was just like a huge sample thing. Nope, getting 1.8 strokes per round over his last 12, 0.3 per round off the tee. Just unbelievable iron play. Better than Scotty Scheffler type of iron play over the last 12 measured rounds. And if you cherry pick it even more, you can get him gaining 2.7 strokes per round with the iron play. So just next level stuff of late. Kind of like a Sam Burns, you just really got to like the way that that's trending coming in. And now you get him on a course that he literally plays all the time. $8,100, count me in, right? He's got the course history too, right? He's played here a few times before, and normally these hometown course kind of guys, or these home course guys, tend to kind of suck, right? They feel like they get, the nerves or whatever. T29, there's a rookie. T13 last year. Okay, I'm sold, right? Iron plays there, hometown course narrative, #3 total mono ranking. Must we say more, right? Probably not at this point. So the recent form, if you want to take a look at the actual finishes, missed the cut last time. A lot of our guys missed the cut last time. Okay, it's kind of alarming, but T2, T47 finish, bunch of made cuts before that. Really just everything that we're looking for. So love Alex Smalley this week. Definitely going to be using him in my lineups, and won't be as chalky, right, as a Siwoo, a Denny McCarthy, right? People will play Alex because of the recent form metrics, especially that iron play of late. They'll play him because of some of the hometown narrative, but he's not going to be like 25% owned. He's not going to be this mega chalk like these other two guys up here. So if you're starting with maybe one of those two and then using an Alex Smalley as your third man in, you're probably starting out okay with the lineup. You're probably not that mega chalky with your first 3 options. So yeah, those are some of the core plays I'm taking. Of course, won't be the only exposure that I'm taking up top. So check out the Patreon if you want access to all of the plays that I'm taking up there. But those 4, definitely the ones that I'll be getting the most leverage to in my large field lineups. Alrighty guys, that is all I've got for the core plays this week. Before you hop on out of here, go ahead and smash that like button for me. And also go ahead and comment down below who you've got winning this golf tournament. For me, I'm going to take Denny McCarthy. I think he gets win #2 here just with the recent form. The fact that he's underpriced, I feel like people are kind of overreacting to him just having 1.5 bad golf tournaments. Let's see him snap back out of it. Go out there, show us that it wasn't just a one-hit wonder type of thing, and hopefully give us a little bit of exposure over there in GPPs too. So best of luck out there, but love to hear your thoughts down below for a winner. Be back tomorrow with a value plays video, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Also check out the live stream Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. There we'll be going through the weather, so whether there's any sort of edge out there in terms of like stacking the AM or the PM wave, we'll touch on the chalk there, all your questions, everything you need to know to go out there and have yourself a week. I appreciate all the support here, guys, and I'll catch you guys throughout the week for all that content. Let's print. I hope to see your names at the top of a few GPPs, and let's get this cash.